Hey everybody, Mike B here with another video for you today. I'm going to just address this. I've made videos on it in the past, but every couple of years I think it helps to refresh this. And I get this question almost daily, well yeah, daily if not multiple times a day on a bunch of my different videos. And that is where to get military surplus firearms. And I do read you guys' comments. It's just, I get that question so often, I just got sick of answering it. So I decided to make this video to clarify so now I can just send the link to this video. So if you're watching it from a question that you asked, welcome. Anyway, I'm going to recommend 5 places that I personally get military surplus firearms from or have in the past. They're trusted companies, they're not shady, and it is what it is. So they would come with my recommendation. I'm also going to give you a few places that I would stay away from personally because I've been either burned by them or other people have been burned by them quite frequently. And I'm going to be doing that. So I did make a similar video a couple years ago, but things have changed a lot since I made that video, and I think that was 2019 or 2020. Surplus itself is no longer really a hobby for the poor, like, you know, getting a $70 rifle. It's become a collector's market. Military surplus firearms have gotten extremely expensive, so unfortunately you need deeper pockets to play the game if you so choose. If you're just looking to get 1 or 2 just to have, and you're not really looking to collect per se and expand your collection, you know, try a bunch of different things, have a surplus buffet, yeah, you know, that's a different story. But for those of us like myself who have been collecting for many years now and we want to keep collecting, I've slowed my collecting down. And so that's just part of the comes with the territory. So I just want to throw that little caveat out there about the price and availability as well. So with that, we're going to start number 5. These are in no particular order. I'm just going to go with the frequency that I have used these places. So Palmetto State Armory, they're known for their cheap AR parts kits and stuff like that. I love those because I think as many people should be able to afford ARs as possible. Anyway, I love building those kits every once in a while. It's very fun. Anyway, they're known for that, but they occasionally do get military surplus firearms in stock. They don't have any right now. There's a couple of these places that are currently out of stock of everything surplus, but I'll tell you a little trick to, you know, just so you know about these places. So Palmetto State Armory, right? They had Carcano cavalry carbines, TS carbines. They had M17 pistols that were military surplus. And right now they're out of stock, but here's the thing. What you have to do, just like with my business, Mike's Militaria, you have to sign up for their newsletter or fill out that little notification thing that says notify me when they're back in stock. These places are constantly searching for cool surplus stuff, as am I. So I understand that. And once in a while when it pops up, you want to be on that email list so you know exactly when this item comes in or when new surplus comes in so you can be one of the first to get it before it's sold out. So it's going to be a caveat with the next couple of these as well. I've purchased from Palmetto State Armory many times, not just modern stuff, but like when they had the Carcanos in stock, I got several of the TS carbines. I sold the ones that didn't really fit my collection and then kept the ones that I liked, and I'm very happy with that. And they have good reviews. They're a very big company. They can't afford to be screwing over their customers because word spreads pretty quick because they are so well known. And it's the same thing with this next one, DK Arms. I found out about them a couple years ago when they also had the cavalry carbines. And they had a sale, and they also had surplus pistols. They had Beretta 92S pistols, a bunch of other things. They currently have the Carcano 1891 cavalry carbines in stock for I think $259 or something, but they go on sale once in a while. Anyway, so they do have those in stock. I purchased a couple of the cavalry carbines from them and was satisfied. They have really good reviews. They have never done wrong by myself or anybody that I know personally. And they currently have that in stock. The rest of their stuff's out of stock. But again, sign up for their newsletter so you know when they get new stuff because they're always looking for surplus. This next place is the same way. Atlantic Firearms or Atlantic Arms. They just got a bunch of surplus in a while back. They're currently sold out, same thing. But again, sign up for that newsletter because they are very good at locating surplus stuff. I've never heard of anybody getting screwed by them. Again, with all these companies, just because I don't have a bad experience doesn't mean that nobody did. Everybody's going to have a bad experience with a company, or a company's going to have somebody that's got a bad experience with them. It just happens. People have had bad experiences with me. It's unavoidable, but it's the amount, the ratio, because these other ones I'm gonna let you know about have had pretty bad experiences consistently. Anyway, so Atlantic Arms is number 3, and they had a lot of really cool stuff. They had a bunch of Yugo Mausers. Their prices are, we'll just say their market value, I guess, and you can't really blame them for that because they want to keep having cool stuff to sell, but they can't, you know, buy it for as cheap as they used to, and they have to market. They have to make money somehow. Anyway, they had a bunch of CNR stuff. They had a Hugo Mausers, French 4956 Moss rifles, and K98s, which were a bit high, but again, it is what it is. This stuff's not getting any easier to find, and I don't think that they're price gouging necessarily. So, number 2 on my list, this is the frequency. These are the next 2 places I bought from quite a bit. So, number 2 is Aim Surplus. This is probably, they also have stuff in stock right now, and I'll tell you about that, but they're mainly sold out, but they also hunt all the time. That's where I've gotten a lot of surplus firearms over the years. I'm collecting, I've been using them for about 14, 15 years, somewhere around there, and they've never disappointed. Their customer service is top notch. It's fantastic. I've got a lot of experience with them, which is why I know this stuff. I'm not saying that they're any better or worse than these other companies, but in my experience, Aim Surplus is one of my favorite places to get surplus. Right now they have Chinese Norinco Type 54 Tokyo pistols, which I have a few of. Bought some of the shooter grades over the years. And they have those in stock, I think, for $350 right now. It's a really nice pistol if you don't have one. And again, the customer service, their user experience online is easy. You upload your CNR license or your FFL, and then it's just super easy. So, yeah, Aim Surplus is going to be on that list for sure. Again, you can just Google all these names. I don't have to put, I actually can't put links in the description because YouTube doesn't allow that. So you're just going to have to Google what I'm saying. So I'm trying to be very clear on the names. And the number 1 choice, if you want some really quirky surplus stuff that's not necessarily easy to find, but it's in small lots and batches, and it's it's a case-by-case basis. You get to see exactly what you're getting. Prices are fair. Again, everything's high right now, so it's not that I'm shitting on these people's prices, but it is what it is. Is Empire Arms, right? And I've actually talked to Dennis, the owner, on live streams personally. If you want to go back and check those out on YouTube, it's pretty fun. But anyway, I've been buying stuff from Dennis for a long time now, and it's always, 100% honest. You know exactly what you're going to get with him. Even if you don't have pictures, he describes it perfectly, and it's like, okay, yay or nay, I want this thing. Prices are fair. We'll just say that. They're very fair. And, yeah, you know exactly what you're going to get. And he gets the weirdest stuff. Like, every once in a while, I'm sitting there and I have to go, oh, no, I can't afford this right now. I can't afford that. I should not buy this. I should not buy this. And then it's sold in 5 minutes, which is fun. So, yeah, his stuff, you have to be on it like that, though. That's the problem. But it's also really fun because he, sends out these newsletters and you go, and you have about 5 minutes tops to think about it. And sometimes somebody's going to beat you to it. So, yeah, go to empirearms.com, and then it's about halfway down. His site's a little bit dated, but it doesn't matter for what he's doing. He's been doing it for the same way for years, and it works. It's about halfway down. It's a yellow button that says click here to sign up for the mailing list. So do that, and you'll see what I mean when you get the exclusive list the day before he puts all the rest of the stuff on the normal website. So there's that. And so those are 5 places that you can get military surplus firearms from that come with my recommendation. There's a few more, but I have a lot less experience buying stuff from them, so that's why I just chose to narrow it down to these top 5 that I would recommend. And here's a couple that I would not recommend. I do not recommend. You should probably not do business with them based on previous experiences that I've had and a bunch of other people have had. Is the first one, I've complained about these guys before, is Classic Arms. I personally, my opinion is that I believe that they are a very big part of and responsible for the current prices of surplus firearms. I've seen them over the years. They charge a lot. They charge a premium for stuff that should not have a premium charge for it. Again, that's my opinion, and other people's opinions too. And I think that contributes to the price hikes that we've seen drastically. It far outweighs inflation. So don't start with that. I can argue with you on that in the comments. The percentages of certain firearms, and I watched it happen. So anyway, I would not recommend. I think personally they have some pretty shady business practices in the past, which I've talked about on another video. And you got to make money, but there's also, don't screw over people because word gets around. Anyway, so I'll just stop ragging on that. I just would not do business with them. I don't do business with them because of those reasons. Second one that I would stay away from is Royal Tiger Imports. You've probably heard a lot about them, especially recently with all these guns from Ethiopia that they've imported. I got burned. I burned myself. Nobody held a gun to my head and told me to buy it, but the firearms were not as described because most of them are non-functional, and they were described a little bit differently. And then reviews get selected to which one makes it, and they're always 5 stars. So I got burned personally. I know literally dozens personally of other people that have been burned. The guy that owns it's kind of a shady fella, if you will. And that's my opinion. It's not a fact. It's just my opinion. And I will never recommend them or do business with them again because of what they pulled with myself and several others, very much overstating the condition of firearms and the functionality of firearms. So I cannot recommend them ever to anyone. So that's that. And it's just, yeah, I feel bad. I wish I could say otherwise. I wish it was a reputable place that I could recommend because they have a lot of what would be cool stuff if it wasn't junk at this point. But it is what it is. So I would not recommend them. The last place that I would not recommend, and because it's everybody's first go-to, is Gunbroker. So the problem with Gunbroker is you've got people that don't do any research and they have fear of missing out and they've got more money than brains and patience. And they'll take a rifle, I've seen this recently, they'll take a rifle that is worth maybe $500 to $600 and they will bid it up to $1,200 to $1,300 for fear of missing out. And at least I got it. You know, there's never going to be another one that pops up because there's only 200,000 of these in the country, and that in itself takes gun prices and drives them through the frickin' roof. People at gun stores, I noticed that when gun owners started and people at gun shows started looking up things on the internet, it was over for that, and they would always look at Gunbroker and be like, well, this is what this is going for, or what this sold for, and it's an outrageous price, and then they go, well, that's what I want for it, and it is what it is. It's a chain reaction. Everybody is on Gunbroker. Everybody knows about Gunbroker. Not everybody knows about these other little hidey holes, and by watching my video, not everybody's going to know either. Maybe you already knew about these, who knows? But I would not recommend Gunbroker. It's not because they have shady business practices and all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. It's the people on there, like the actual users. You're not going to really get a good deal. You might get a good deal 1 out of 1,000 times you get destroyed on price and everything. Also, read the descriptions very carefully. There are some people on there who are shady, and they will word things in such a way that if you're a newer collector, you'll miss it. If you're an experienced collector, you have a 50-50 chance of missing it, and then you end up with a piece of shit, and then they delete their account, and then you're screwed. So that's also happened to myself and several other people that I know on there. So it's not the business itself, it's not Gunbroker, the company, it's the people who utilize the site that I would recommend staying away from there. You're going to pay an absolute premium, and it's just not fun. And that's not the only place to go. It's the most popular for sure. It's the eBay of firearms, but I would stay away from that. So that's all I've got in this video. Sorry I went so long. I wanted to keep this under 10 minutes or around 10 minutes, but I also wanted to put in those 3 places that I kind of maybe don't waste your money and get burned on. Potentially. Again, my opinion, that's all that matters as a person that's had experiences with these places. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments if you got any experience with any of these companies and all that stuff. And again, these are places that I've done business with. I recommend them. They're not shady, and I would, if you say, hey, should I get something from Aim Surplus or Empire Arms, or DK Arms, or Atlantic, or Palmetto, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. Like they'll take care of you. You're in good hands. So anyway, if you like this video and you like the other stuff that I make and you want to support me financially and get some perks while you're at it, you can either become a YouTube channel member by hitting the join button below, or become a Patreon supporter, but the link is in the description for that. Patreon, once in a while I do put out exclusive podcasts talking about random subjects that I don't put out publicly. So that's a perk of that. And a perk for both of them is $5 a month more on either method gets you into my Discord server, which there's a lot of people on, and it's very fun in there. A lot of really cool people. We joke around, have some fun. We also exchange information, show off our collections, stuff like that, ask questions, get answers. I really have a good time on there. So if you consider that, that's a couple perks you get. And if you want to support me but you can't do it financially, I totally understand that. That's fine. Just like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share it out and see what other people think. And if you agree with these decisions or these places and you got any experience, throw them in the comments. So, and then if you have also similar negative experiences with the ones that I said were negative or positive, who knows, also throw that in the comments so we can see. I don't like people getting burned, and I want to try to limit that as much as possible by making videos like this. So, thank you so much everybody for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.